7 bags of popcorn. Imagine if I'd said, oh, I'm just going to eat chips or nuts, or what were you eating?
Chocolate.
And?
Wine. Oh,
and?
Pizza and garlic fingers.
And pizza and garlic fingers. Coach Greg, and today another Q&A. I'm going to answer a whole bunch of questions that you asked. I'm going to try to not look like a moron and answer as honestly as I can. Hope you learn a thing or two, but if you don't, hopefully at least you're entertained. The Bosco 19. I just want to know how to apply Maingaining. Do we need to increase calorie intake over time if we gain muscle? Do we need more calories to keep gaining? And my question is if it's necessary to eat a little bit more and how much. Thanks, Rick. Hope you choose my comment earlier than last time. Okay, so there's the answer. You can't give an exact calorie answer. Oh, add 33 calories on Tuesdays once you've gained 1 pound. No, this is how it works. You look in the mirror. Maybe once a day, maybe once a week, maybe once a month. And you look in the mirror and you say, hey, am I happy with how I look? And you're like, yep, I am. Don't change anything. Continue to do what you're doing. If you look in the mirror and you're like, man, I'm getting a little bit too lean. I'm too lean now. Eat a little bit more. How much more? A little bit more. How much is a little bit? It's about a little bit. You want an exact calorie. I'm sorry, I'm not going to give it to you. Oh, add 50 calories. Add 100. You guys know you can't even track that accurately. Oh yeah, I can. I use MyFitnessPal. Sorry. Maybe you put on a little bit of olive oil on the pan and you're off by 300 calories. You don't know how much calories you eat. You have an estimate, a guess. Eat a little bit more. Then you look in the mirror and you're like, yeah, I'm going up a little bit, okay? That is how you do it. Maingaining means you try not to bulk and you try not to cut. You try to just be who you are. Have you seen me over the last 6 months? Do I look different to you? Do I look like I've gotten fat or gotten more shredded? What do you see? So some videos, maybe I look a little bit leaner than others. Where's the lighting or the choice of tank top? Or did I go in the gym in the morning or at night or whatever? What did I eat? Okay, I just consistently eat about the same amount of calories and I look in the mirror and I look about the same. I'm maintaining, okay? And for me at my age, frankly, I'm just trying not to lose it. 45 years old, I'm only on HRT and not at high doses. I'm lucky I look good at all. And I'm bike riding, I'm training hard and all that stuff. So all you need to do, look in the mirror, try to keep yourself looking the way you are, and over time you are slowly going to add muscle. Let's say you got the best genetics in the world and you gained 10 pounds of muscle in a few months, natty. Do you really think your protein requirements or energy requirements go up dramatically? It's a small amount. There's hardly any calories needed to grow a pound of muscle. Add 50, 100. You really don't need much. And if you add 100 and you look in the mirror and you're getting fatter, it's too much. Okay? Too much. It's such small, minute differences. Maingaining is the easiest thing you'll ever do. All you have to do is have the guts to look in the mirror, have an honest assessment and say, am I getting fat? Am I getting too ripped? Probably not getting too ripped, let's be honest. Look in the mirror and say, did I let myself go a little bit? And if you did, just tone it back a little bit. Eat a little bit less. Brenda Jerry, should I eat a high carb diet one day before a marathon or an endurance sport to increase stamina or energy? Yes. River Unnamed, when it comes about working the abs, is it better 5 to 7 minutes nonstop or 4 to 5 sets to failure? 4 to 5 sets to failure. Zapalo El Verga, it's a 30-minute training session enough. I'm a cylinder, by the way. Yes, it's enough to start. Aniket Bhagat, why doesn't our body feel satisfied when we consume maintenance calories? Because your body's set point is above the maintenance point that you've selected. So for example, if you're trying to maintain 5% body fat and you're eating at maintenance, your body's saying, screw you, we're sending hunger hormones, punch you in the face because we don't like 5%. We want you to eat more than maintenance so that you can get fatter than last time. However, if you're at 400 pounds and your body's like, I don't like 400, I want to be 300, it stops those signals and you're always full eating at maintenance and your body will never be hungry. So if you're hungry at maintenance calories, it's because you're trying to maintain a weight that's lower than your set point. Kiwi N, you said putting on size is easier at higher body fat, so wouldn't bulking be efficient in that sense to then be in a very small deficit? Yes, if you're bulking, it's easier to put on muscle than if you're cutting in a deficit. The problem is if you're bulking to put on that muscle, you're then going to have to cut, aren't ya? Because you're bulking and you got fat, and then you're going to have to cut. And then guess what happens when you cut? You're in a deficit, at which point it's harder to put on muscle and harder to keep the muscle that you put. And so in the end, it makes no difference. The bulker and the main gainer long term will each have the same amount of muscle. But the main gainer is going to be healthier because they're not yo-yo dieting back and forth. Does that make sense? So yeah, bulking, you're going to gain more weight, a little bit more weight more quickly. But long term, you're going to lose that extra muscle that you put because it doesn't just work like that. And plus, do you think you could have achieved your prime physique a lot faster when you were younger if you had the knowledge you have now? Yes, obviously. I made so many mistakes growing up. My first competition, I didn't even know you need to eat protein to build muscle. I was tracking, in fact, I was eating under 60 grams of protein a day. I thought carbs was the way to go because I had been doing triathlons and we always ate a lot of pasta. So I was like, oh, I know, I'll go to diet, I'll eat plain pasta. Sound like a good diet to you? Think about it. And I still won the show. Genetics. Alan Lindo. Does staying in a calorie deficit affect cardio endurance athletes? Yes. Spezzatura. How's your blood work now after abusing PDs and being on TRT? HDL, liver enzyme, kidneys, etc. How's your heart? What's your calcium score? Well, I don't actually know my calcium score, but I know everything else is amazing. Sometimes you need to research harder than last time. I've already gone over my blood work after a cycle. Literally, the video is on YouTube, and I shared my results. So search harder than last time. Fatankamon, when should we change the exercises? Can we use the same exercise forever? Yes, you actually can use the same exercises forever. Yes. When should you change them? When you're bored? When you feel like changing it because you don't like it anymore? Or possibly when you're not making any gains whatsoever and then that's causing you to get bored and then you change it then. Or if you get injured or it hurts during a certain exercise, then you should change it. But listen, the best exercises are the best exercises. You do the best exercises because they give you the best results. You'll be like, hey, I like running for cardio. When should I stop doing running for cardio? Can I run for the rest of my life? Well, sure, why not? When should I stop bike riding for cardio? Well, why would you stop doing that if it works and it's good? You don't have to stop an exercise that works. What works, works. Hey, Coach Greg, when should I stop eating French toast? I have it for breakfast every day. You don't stop. When you're bored of French toast and you want to eat protein pancakes when you want to try something else. Same thing in the gym. Wolf 1503, importance of taking vitamin D, zinc, and magnesium for muscle growth. Not important assuming you have a balanced diet and you're not a moron and only eating from one food group. But if you're eating a balanced diet, you're eating from all food groups. Zero important. Guess what? I'm not taking it. If I thought it was important, don't you think I'd take it? Oftentimes I tell people, I think it's important. I think I should do this. I'm like, I'm a professional bodybuilder looking for every edge possible. If I'm not doing it, why are you? Joe Quingare, have you ever made a video and then deleted it because you thought you didn't scream loud enough in it? No, but I freaking recorded videos and forgot the sound and not recorded me yelling and then had to yell again. That sucks, trust me, when it's over an hour and you're like, yes, that was a good video and the sound is off. Oh, it's so maddening. Used to do that all the time. Now I record. I got one camera there, and one audio correction thing here. I've got 3 things taking in the sound and 2 cameras on me right now because I am sick and tired of redoing the same video. Bombo C. How can I stop emotional, bored, anxiety, binge eating? You can't. You're not going to stop it. So what do you do then? You eat and binge on low-calorie dense foods when this happens. You be proactive because you know what's going to happen. You fill up on popcorn, on salads, on protein ice cream. You eat as much of it as you want. You don't worry about the calories. You're like, hey, it's going to happen from time to time. We're all human. We're going to make mistakes. We're going to make some errors. We're going to give in. You just eat as much of the low-calorie dense foods as possible so that you're full and you live life the next day and you don't care. It's no big deal. Babe, how many How many bags of popcorn did I eat the other night?
Like 7, I think?
Yeah, seven bags of popcorn. Imagine if I'd said, oh, I'm just going to eat chips or nuts, or what were you eating?
Chocolate.
And?
Wine. Oh,
And?
pizza and garlic fingers.
And pizza and garlic fingers. So imagine if I said, I'm going to binge on pizza and garlic fingers and wine and chocolate versus popcorn. So you see, I have the same cravings, the same things going on in my brain and body that you do. I'm just more intelligent and more used to doing the right things and compensate better. 7 bags of popcorn, maybe 1,400 calories versus I would have probably had 7,000 calories if I would have binged on pizza and garlic fingers. Labib Bat, can you grow and you can consume 10 to 20 grams less than the recommended amount of protein? Yes, of course you can, especially if it's 10 to 20 grams less than the recommended protein for a bodybuilder, which is around 1 gram of protein per pound of body weight. You actually only need about half of that. Half of that is plenty for most people. People overestimate how much protein they actually need. Hardly anyone doesn't eat enough protein. My first bodybuilding contest was done eating under 60 grams of protein a day, just eating plain pasta. Wasn't eating tuna and egg white. I didn't know any of that stuff. Later on, I'm like, I need to eat protein powder. What is this stuff? I didn't know. Tuna, that's gross. Why would I eat that? I was a kid. I was eating chicken nuggets and French fries. And I'm like, I got to eat healthy now. And so that's what happened. So absolutely, I won the show. Clearly, I was building muscle and harder than any protein. And guess what? Carbs and fats are protein sparing. So the more calories you're getting from other foods, the more the protein is used to build muscle. So if you eat a lot of carbs and fats, you don't need as much protein. If you're dieting really hard and eating a very low carb and low fat diet, then you need more protein to make up for the lack of carbs and protein. Lady Berjbugia, is stretching really that important? It is so difficult for me and I get tired at the end of my workout, so I don't want to do it. And to be honest, I can't imagine you stretching, so I bet you don't. Post-pandemic, please visit Argentina. So no, it's not at all important if you're already flexible. If you are already flexible, you don't need to stretch. But if you're not flexible, then it is. And why? Because you need to prevent injuries, okay? You can get injured if the muscle is not flexible. You just run to first base and you pull the hammy. You lunge to catch a football and you tore your Achilles tendon. It sucks. You need to be flexible. Do I ever stretch? I taught phys ed for years. I would do every single class have some stretching. I taught yoga. I was a phys ed teacher. Of course I stretch. Do I stretch now? Not as much as I should, but I stretch the muscles in the areas where I require it. My triceps and my hip flexors, they're tight. I need to stretch those areas. Do I stretch things like my biceps? Not really. Do I stretch my quads? No, but they're actually quite flexible. But areas where I need to stretch, those are the areas that I stretch. GregDoucette.com for coaching. Greg Doucette, IFBB Pro. Blooping up 2 videos. Hopefully you liked the Q&A session this time. And until next time, I am out.